Well, welcome. Hello, guys. Welcome to the next episode of the podcast. I am here with the wonderful soul, Fi. Um, Very good friend, beautiful artist, beautiful person. I'm like,
Oh,
I can't wait to chat with her and have you guys listening. Um,
gassing me up.
okay. So, first of all, tell the people what you do, uh, creative outlets, work, whatever you want to chuck in there. Go on.
Okay, so for work at the moment, I am a bartender, somewhere between part-time and full-time. Um, I don't know if you want me to go into details about where.
No, you
Yeah,
don't have to go into detail
I
about
don't know if it's
I
really
was
worth
more
it.
I was more veering towards the
The
creative
creative
side.
stuff. I thought I was like, oh, let me just
Mm.
preface it by getting the boring shit out the way first,
Fair, fair.
right? So bartender in brackets, but for the most part, I am a photographer.
Mm.
For a little while, to be honest, I wasn't even sure if I should call myself that because it's a bit more of a multidisciplinary scope. Um,
Mm.
I
I'll lay it out.
yeah, I love styling. I've got a huge passion for that, and that is very prevalent in my photography.
Yeah,
And
definitely is.
I mean, I love music, but it's not necessarily something that I create with much apart from drumming. But I
Yeah.
guess that's more of a hobby. Um, but yeah, I would say at the moment, if I was to put on a label on my art, it would be photographer
Yeah.
slash photography.
You know what? It's always weird, yeah. When I ask people to like name like what they do and like well, they're always it's always jarring for them, especially creatives. They're always like, yeah, I do this and this and but not really. Like I like this, like
Right.
like but I feel like I feel like we should be okay with being bold and saying like I'm an artist and I'm multidisciplinary. I have interest in this and this and this,
Right.
and that's me. That's
Yeah.
the whole thing, you know. So I feel like I don't know. It's almost like a little bit of like imposter syndrome, you know. Like you were saying, I wasn't sure if I should call myself a photographer. She's definitely a photographer, by the way. Definitely a great one. I'm like, check her Insta. I will link all things, all things to it. But absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so first question. Let's take a look at the past. So where did you grow up?
So,
From.
where am I from? So, I, what a question. I always struggle answering this in a succinct way,
Yeah,
especially as like a mixed person and just all of
Mm,
that. But
no,
anyway,
I
I'm
hear
a start in the same way that I always do. I usually just say Southwest London. Um, I grew up in a small suburban. I don't even know if you could call it a town. There was a high street and a pub.
fair.
hmm
Yeah, yeah,
and just a lot of houses and a park. But it was called Motspur Park, and it was I don't know, like 20 minutes on the train from Waterloo. Uh, if you wanted to go to like I don't know Guildford, it's on that line. Anyway,
yeah,
that's where I grew up, in between Wimbledon and Kingston. That's you know,
fair, fair.
so gives a bit of context. And I spent 18 years there. Before that, I was in Clapham Junction, but that was for 3 years. I
Yeah,
can't say that I have really a
yeah.
single memory from there.
Okay, fair. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No. It's those unconscious part of your like, yeah,
Right, that somehow is like the shaping of your entire personality.
right, which
Right.
makes no sense whatsoever because you can't remember
You
it.
can't
So like,
remember it.
what the
Really
fuck?
strange.
They talk about look at your inner child, but I can't
Yeah,
remember.
who is
The
that?
fuck? That makes no sense. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where I grew up. That's where I'm from.
That's where you're from. Okay, so what about your like? So where would you say you started being interested in like the artistic, creative side of
Hmm. Where would I say? I mean, I was very fortunate in that I have two creative parents. So I think they really wanted to pass on that appreciation for art and
things?
music and culture. So I was always being taken to exhibitions as a kid,
Oh, that's so sick.
right? And like, it doesn't mean that I understood much of what was going on,
Yeah.
but I was just surrounded by art, and I think that had I mean, obviously a huge impact. It's got to have a huge impact
Yeah.
on
Yeah. 100%.
your relationship with it,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
So trying to put a timestamp on like where it all came from is difficult.
Yeah. 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 It's just
Um,
kind of encapsulated in your whole
right.
like growth as a person. It's just like,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Like
No,
I
it's
know when I used to go to nursery, I was always painting pictures of my dad, and they would totally be like, my dad looks like a spud. So it would just be like a spud
yeah.
with like hair. But like my my parents kept it all and like stuck in the walls and stuff. And so I don't know, like nursery.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I think like if I really try to trace it back, I think I could trace it back to nursery as well. I'm like, I literally just, I think we got rid of the paint, I think 2 years ago, but it was literally like just lines of color,
Oh, you
because I
still
was
make
like,
work like that though.
right, which is really kind of crazy, which is now you say it full circle, like maybe the inner child and all of that shit is kind of,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, no, it was literally just like lines, like that was my first drawing, and my parents kept it for so long. Like I know exactly what it looks like, but I don't know where it is now. I have no idea where it is.
Hopefully
So
they've still got it.
I'm like, I don't know. You've moved so much, man. I'm surprised that we even had it like 2 years ago. But yeah, no, it's so weird. Like, uh, when? Okay, so next question. When would you say that you kind of chose the creative path for yourself? Because like growing up is not really much under your control.
Yeah, it's more like life's happening to you when you're
Yeah,
a kid and you're just in I guess, the education system.
yeah.
There's not that much autonomy over what you're
What you
taking
are.
in. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, but I think when I started to really make decisions and acknowledge that art was something that was such a huge part of like who I am and
mm,
um yeah, just understanding that that was, it wasn't something that I could just compartmentalize into,
yeah,
oh, it's just a hobby. Like
yeah, yeah.
it's just life for
It's
me.
life. Yeah,
So
yeah,
I went to a grammar school, and I mean, so you get to pick your GCSEs, right?
yeah.
You get to pick like what, three of them?
Yeah, I think it's three of them, and then the rest of them, the five, is like all core subjects, and
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, that's a lot.
long. But I picked textiles, art, and physical education.
I also did physical education and failed.
Hey,
What?
what? What do
What?
you mean?
I failed. Yeah, yeah, no, I
I did not know this about
failed.
you.
Yeah, man. It's not that I felt like I can be like an athlete. I had the makings of an athlete. I just
Twisted your ankle.
oh yeah, no, I just couldn't be asked for the GCSE to be honest. I had other things I wanted to prioritize, and I was like, if I fail at this, I'll be okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like you're
You know?
gonna. Yeah, you don't plan on being a fucking like basketball squad
No, no, that
leader.
was
Like,
never in the cards for me. I'm not
yeah,
that much of an athlete. I'm not an athlete because I'm not an athlete. Look at me. But um yeah, no, I think I literally just took it because I was going to take maths or like complicated maths. And then my
damn.
maths teacher was like turned around and was like, we have 2 years to learn the syllable. I don't doubt that you can learn the syllable, but you'll only be able to learn it in 3 years. Yeah, I know how you work. And I was like, okay then, I drop out. So I moved to physical education. And yeah, I'm like regretted it, but you know, we live and learn.
We live, we listen and we don't judge.
We listen and we don't judge.
But
Sure,
yeah, shit.
sure.
Sorry, back to the question. um, but I wasn't even gonna say from where I wasn't gonna say that from choosing creative subjects at GCSE, that was where I started to really um choose it as a career path. I
Mm,
felt like it was actually when I dropped out of um, school. I didn't drop out of school, but after I finished my GCSEs, most people stayed at the same school and did
yeah,
uh,
sixth form.
sixth form
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
And I was like, absolutely not. Like I can't. you know, I think when we had some kind of open day where we got to have little tasters of some of the subjects we could take.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting in psychology and thinking it seemed really interesting. And then people were like, oh, but you know, it's very essay based and there's like science and maths and they're all interesting things. But I was like, that just sounds like torture to me. It's just
Yeah.
the amount of energy it takes as a creative person
To lock down and like do academic heavy subjects is fucking crazy.
is
It's
crazy.
actually crazy.
Right.
It takes it out of you in a different way that like most people, if if you if you don't use like creativity as like your outlet and like that's your life, like you don't really understand how much trouble it.
How difficult it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's really weird,
Right.
really
You can get more stuck in asking questions than answering them. I think when it comes to academic stuff, it's
weird.
just
Yeah.
like, but why is it like this? But what rather than actually, you know. So I was like, yeah. So I left and I went and did a 3 year, no, 2 year diploma in art and design.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
got a
Okay.
distinction actually,
Okay.
which is the
That's
equivalent of
interesting.
like, I don't know, like it's either three A's or three
I'm
A
like,
stars. But I just
yeah,
remember
yeah,
thinking,
yeah,
right, if I'm
yeah.
doing art, I've got, you know,
Yeah, you got to bang
I've
it.
got to
You got to
smash.
bang it.
There's
You
no
got
way
to
I
bang
can
it.
be
Yeah,
like
yeah,
failing or anything like that. Just me personally, I think that's definitely a bit of the old grammar school mindset though. It doesn't, it never leaves.
yeah.
It never
I'm like,
leaves.
I'll tell you what, like, so sixth form for me was it was so strange. So I did creative subjects, all creative subjects. Um, so I did what, performing arts, I did art, and then I did product design. I failed product design. I almost failed art, and I think I got a distinction in performing arts.
I never knew that about you either.
Yeah, yeah,
Performing arts. So was that like singing, dancing, acting?
yeah, 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 all the above.
You're a
I'm
little
like,
theatre kid.
I don't like thinking myself that.
You're a little theatre
Let's
kid,
not.
mate.
No, no, I'm not even. I'm not even because like, um, if anything, like I'm an actor slash dancer, but like theater, like those two separately.
Hmm.
Like I love to dance. Most people don't know that about me, but like that's something that I keep for myself. And then I'd love to act as well because I don't know. I just never could get behind learning lines. I've
Right.
always had like a bit of trouble remembering lines and being put under pressure as well. I think I don't know. Looking back at it, I feel like I didn't try hard enough
Hmm.
because I know I can do that now. So I think I was just kind of like insecure about my creative like potential in a sense. But yeah, no, it was really weird because you said you got like what distinctions on everything, and I pretty much didn't at all. I think I got a distinction and then a merit for my performing arts. It was distinction merit. So yeah, no, it's very different paths. And then like it's such a weird. It's so weird like comparing with people how they grew into
Through
what they are
school and
now.
stuff like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
it's really
yeah, yeah. No,
interesting.
it's really interesting. Um, but yeah, I'm like, so distinction. After that, what did we do?
So after that, what did we do? I felt like I loved doing that foundation in art and design. Like that
Mm,
was two of probably some of the best years of my life so far. And just being able to do like everything, you
yeah,
know, to sit with sculpture and architecture and creative writing and textiles and film, just everything. I was like, wow, I think it's also exciting. I don't know which road I'm supposed to go down here.
yeah, yeah,
I think it's, you know, it's touching on what we already spoke about. As a
yeah, yeah,
creative,
yeah,
like
yeah,
you already have your finger in so many pies most of the time. You've just got that kind of like understanding of like materiality and
mm,
uh, alternative methods of communication. It just means that like you could kind of
jump
translate
into
yourself
everything.
through it. Yeah, and I think
Yeah,
really if you spent enough time practicing it.
yeah,
So I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
mm,
But my dad, I spoke to my dad about it, and he was like, "You've always loved cameras," and I was like, "Oh, that's true." I've got photos that I've got photos that I took when I was like 10 or something, and they were always just like, my cat or something.
Yeah.
But I also had photos. I mean, this is from my DS, like yeah, this is my DSi XL. Okay, but I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of them are like they're really well framed, and I was just very interested in the world around me, and I think being an only child, I think I link a lot of this stuff as to like how I got to where I am now to being an only child, but
Mm.
you do spend a lot more time on your own and entertaining yourself. And I think that also, like in an adverse or an opposite way, makes you a lot more fascinated by just like people and
Yeah.
the world around you, you know. So yeah, I used to photograph my parents a lot as a kid, like my family, my granddad, and yeah, I think just the way that other people operate is just absolutely fascinating to me.
I agree. I
Hence
agree.
why, you know, I
Yeah.
kind of landed with like documentary slash fashion photography. I just think, you know,
Yeah. The
yeah,
idea of like
people
documenting
fascinate
people
me.
is beauty. I'm like this like low key part of the reason why I wanted to start the podcast. Like I say this every single podcast. There's so many reasons to why I wanted to start this podcast, but like they're all completely valid because I've been thinking about this for like the past 5 years.
Mm,
Because so there's a lot of thought behind it that like I'm now thinking about, and like now that you mention it, it is like a way to observe people and like get to know people and see what they have to bring to the table, or even to just see how they live,
right.
you know? Because like I think I've adversely to you, I grew up eldest child, three. So I have been an observer in a lot of senses, but I guess it's a lot different. I guess yours is slightly more detached in a sense
Yeah,
was.
I
Because
suppose so.
like I'm like I'm like almost observing from the inside out in a lot of ways. Um, like just from like talking to you and like getting to know you, like I don't know. That's how I see our difference in the way that we observe certain things. Um, but yeah, that's really interesting to like compare.
Huh, that's an interesting way of putting it from the inside out. And I was thinking, oh, okay, like, so would that mean that I have more of like an outside to in approach? And probably,
Yeah, I think you do.
yeah.
I think you do. I'm like, I don't know. I guess it's just about the way you grew up and like how you see things. I can't really explain it. I feel like that's just how I've observed it because like that's what I'm like. Like people people that know me know that I almost see everything or like I'll always be listening. Like mm, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Bob
Um
Marley.
yeah. Don't let it see this shit. It will be putting me Bob Marley left, right, and center. Fuck's sake. Uh, but yeah, no, it's just like um, I don't know. I've got a very detached way of looking at things. Also, I don't know that that's why people come to me for advice and shit. But I still don't understand why people come to me for advice for those kind of things. I
I
don't.
think I understand why people come to you.
Like I'm still dealing with so much shit myself. I'm like, you come. I understand in a way, but I also don't in a lot of ways because I know myself and I know I probably don't give the best advice. I'm probably biased in a lot of ways. I'm probably like,
Yeah, and that's
you
your
know,
perfectionist brain going, I'm probably this, I'm probably, and I'm not, no, 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 no.
yeah,
But
also true,
there's that,
also
and then
true.
there's what you
Yeah,
actually are,
yeah,
and what you actually are like
yeah,
from an outsider's point of view. And from an outsider point of view, like, you know, you provide great advice because you have a lot more, you have a very selfless perspective. I think that you don't really let judgment get involved when you give opinions so much. It doesn't really, you know, you often give quite neutral advice, I'd say.
Yeah,
Um,
I try.
yeah, you're not like, oh, this is bad or this is good and this is what you should be doing. Um,
Yeah, yeah, because like I guess I'm like that with myself as well because like I like to see everything. I know so a lot of people will look at a certain thing and be like, "Oh no, it's bad. I don't like it." But like I'm like, "But why do you think it's bad? Because maybe it's meant to be bad. Because maybe it's you're meant to learn something because it's bad." Or like I don't know. I think there's a lot of different perspectives that you can have on something, and I'd rather explore those different perspectives and flesh them out so that you can make an informed choice
right.
rather than just jump in and go with whatever it is that you think is right or
That's the
wrong.
beauty of self knowledge, though, because you have quite a intimate relationship with yourself, and
Yeah,
you reflect often,
yeah,
and you take the time to really, slow down and think about things. That's obviously like beaming straight out of you. So when
yeah,
people ask you things, like, they know that they're gonna get a whole spectrum of advice, and you're not
mm,
just gonna say, ah, yeah, I think this is the right thing to do, and
here
here
you
you
go.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 no, no. But I feel like as much as that might be one of the things that like is really good about me, and I do really enjoy that about myself. It's also one of the things that like holds me back the most
Mm.
in a lot of ways. Like I do
Like
because
overthinking.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The overthinking aspect is like it's not just like a practice that I do with people or myself. It's now a practice that I do everywhere in my life, and it also affects how I do everything. So it can be jarring. There's drawbacks to everything, is what I'm trying to say. There's drawbacks to literally everything. Okay, so my camera ran out of storage, hence why it's not switching back over. It's my mistake, but we live and we learn. Back to the podcast at hand. Um, but yeah, I'm like you like you sidetracked a little bit.
Do you know what? That's what
Naturally though,
happens because we're both so
naturally.
interested in just like talking to each other.
Yeah,
It's like it's hard to get.
yeah, yeah, no,
I love asking questions, and so do
yeah,
you.
no,
So we're
it's
just
like
like,
oh shit. But yeah, okay. So I feel like we've fleshed out a little bit past.
mm,
So let's go to present.
okay,
So how do you see yourself right now? Asking mainly like creatively, um, both as like an artist and as like a consumer of art, an audience member. Like, where are the inspirations coming from for your creative, and what kind of you see and you resonate with?
big question.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's a
yeah,
big question.
yes.
Um, okay, I'll try and break it down a little bit. So, how do I see myself as an artist right now? I see myself as an artist who's taken a bit of like a tolerance break
Mhm.
from my own practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Sometimes I think that you can get so entangled in your own work. It becomes so deeply personal, and you can almost there's this phenomena in nature where I think it's like packs of whales or something like that, or like packs of sharks. They get confused in who the leader is, and then they end up just like swimming in circles until they basically like starve and die. And it's like I feel that with my own creative practice, it became so like trying to reflect on it whilst I'm trying to make it, and trying to reflect on it, and then trying to, and it just was like, I don't even know,
What's leading what in that sense, and
exactly.
that's where you
It
feel like
was
you're
just,
trying. Yeah, 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 that's a pretty good analogy to be fair.
thank
I'm like, I
you.
didn't know they did that. I didn't know they
Yeah,
did that.
it's, I
That's
think
crazy.
I must have seen it on like a David Attenborough, and I was like,
Yeah,
wow, that's really like beautiful and melancholy.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's like moths and flames and that kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
thing. They think that it's the
Mm.
moon and they're trying to navigate by the moon, but they're just like
But it's just
banging
like,
into a light bulb.
yeah, it's just this is a pit pig. It's definitely another analogy about life in there.
Right, oh,
Definitely.
100%. And we could so go into that.
Yeah,
But for now, we're
but for now, let's try and
yeah,
limit
let's stop
ourselves.
some inside. So
Yeah.
anyway, I definitely noticed that my art was starting to become toxic for my mental health. It just,
Yeah.
yeah, it became too self-critical and too self-aware.
Mm.
So I dropped out of uni and I took the time to just reroot myself as a human being first. And
Yeah.
having taken about a year away from that, my heart and my soul felt so empty after a period of time. I thought, oh my god, like I hate not creating. This is horrible.
Yeah.
Just like sorry, let me mute my phone. Just like playing, being a human being, like not playing being a human being, just playing being a worker. Just going
Yeah.
to work and
Just like
going through the
going through the
motions.
motions. Yeah. No,
Right,
exactly.
which of course has its position. Is
Yeah. No, we all need it.
we all got to function in
Yeah.
society to a certain degree,
Yeah.
sadly. So until we're rich enough to just get the hell
Not.
out. But that's
Soon come. Soon come.
right.
Yeah.
That's not me right
Yeah.
now.
No.
Just
No.
yet.
How
So
many people right now are like, no.
yeah,
Soon,
yeah,
soon guys will all be fucking rich.
yeah, man. They're
Uh,
like, fuck you, Rich.
yeah.
So where I'm at right now is I'm just starting to re-engage with my creative practice, and it feels like like relearning how to ride a bike or something like that. It's like I have the like innate understanding of how the things work, but there's the initial, like, you're actually not quite as good as it as you were when you were doing it really consistently, and trying to like get over that,
Mhm.
like not being perfect or at
Yeah.
at something initially, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so obviously we did that little shoot the other day.
Yeah.
We actually did a shoot prior to that, and it was like I was shooting film, and the film was just like super
I'm like,
underexposed.
we got one photo that came out absolutely fucking sick though.
Oh,
It did come out sick. I'm
really?
like,
I wasn't very
yeah.
happy with that
I'm
photo.
like, I was so happy with that photo. I look like mysterious as fuck. I'm just
You
like sat
do,
there
yeah, man.
like, what is he doing? Why is he like, like, what?
Why is it so dark and
What?
gloomy, man? Like, where is he?
Yeah, no, loved it. Loved it. It was great aesthetic. Mm,
Thanks. Yeah,
mm,
this guy's a pretty good model. You should hit him
come
up
on.
sometime.
Yeah, guys, come on, hit me up.
Yeah, book him.
Sign me. Come on. I'm like, if somebody sees this that can sign me, sign
Yeah,
me,
look at that pretty face.
please. Okay.
Anyway.
Ad is over. But
um,
yeah.
so yeah, as an artist right now, I'm just really trying to get specific about what it is that what my practice is, what I love. Like, it's not just, oh yeah, I like photography. Now it's like, okay, I know that I like styling, and I know that I like documentary. Trying to figure out what the exact niche is, like really pinpoint it.
Hmm.
I'm trying to build my portfolio. I mean, I have more than enough work. It's just actually organizing
Yeah,
it into something that makes sense to someone else who isn't me.
yeah. That's
Um,
the most difficult part,
mm,
isn't it? Like,
I'd love to just sort
I
of like throw my work at a person and be like, here you go, look, here's all this beautiful talent, have that and
yeah,
employ me, but
yeah, no, but this doesn't work that way.
not
I
quite,
wish it did.
sadly,
I fucking wish it did.
right?
You know, I was so pissed when I left sixth form. Like, I had like the worst like relationship with my teachers because I was so like condescending towards them in a lot of senses. Oh yeah, I forgot that existed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just so condescending towards them because I was like, art should be just about being. I don't need to explain it to everyone. I don't need
Yes.
to like have some kind of like motive behind what I do. I just want to create. And like that comes from a really pure place. And
Mm.
I feel like there has to be space for that. But I feel like if you also want to survive off the things that you do, you also need to have a narrative to what you do. Like you need to have
Yeah, yeah.
plan, not necessarily a plan like a rigid one, but like an idea at least.
You've got to
You
have the
know,
language to be able to articulate it to other people so that they can
exactly,
understand and see what you're seeing. Right.
exactly, exactly that
Yeah.
perfectly. Um,
Thank you.
but yeah, no, I think it's been a struggle trying to fight with that inner side of me and being like, no, but you do need this part actually. They were right.
Right.
And like, if you're seeing this, my teachers, you were right. You're right. I'm just slow, but we both know we both know I was always slow. I'm like, I never had been home on time. That was never me.
Black man time.
Black man timing always.
Black
I'm
man
like, even
time.
to this day, I still like, if you're trying to meet me, expect me to be 15 minutes late, just because I like to take my time.
What's that word that we were talking about the other day? That Japanese word?
Oh, inshin dinshin.
That.
Yes.
Mm.
I don't know if that's the correct, like, somebody correct me if you want. But inshin dinshin is the art of taking your time and doing things slowly, um, or giving yourself time to do things slowly, which is a little bit better than turning up late.
The weight of that, though, just I think
Mm.
in life, the way that, I feel like the clock is a haunting thing.
Yeah, yeah. I
It
wrote
can be.
I wrote a poem about time and how it fucking scares me the other day, and I was just like, yeah, no, this is definitely something that everybody really resonates with, but we don't really talk about at all. Like,
We don't talk about it enough. Yeah.
mm,
There was something that I saw on the internet. It was like a Prince quote, or not necessarily a Prince quote, but a a observation on the way that he lives.
yeah,
And apparently, this might be hearsay. I really hope it's not. But he didn't
he
own
didn't have
any clocks.
clocks. I saw this. I saw this as
Okay.
well. I saw this as well. Yeah, apparently he didn't have any clocks in his house, in his studio. He just woke up,
Yep.
made what he wanted to make,
Yep.
did what he wanted to do, went to bed, and apparently he had like Prince is known for having the craziest output of music from like any artist ever, apart from maybe Drake. I don't know.
What?
Fuck
Oh,
knows.
what do you mean by
Output
volume?
as in
Ah,
volume,
okay, okay.
volumes of like created, even if it's not released, because there's so much
Right.
unreleased stuff that still hasn't been put out.
That's crazy to
Um,
think.
right, right. We're just sitting on this, and why are we not hearing it? Why are we not hearing it? Why? Money,
True.
money,
Okay.
labels. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna go into this. Clearly, I'm passionate. You can tell. You can tell. But moving beside the point. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
coming back to time.
Yes, and time and working on your own time.
Yeah.
Working on your own time. Yeah.
It's hard. I think there's definitely a balance to be struck between, like, doing what Prince does, right? Unless again you've got like fuck you money and you can afford to just
Yeah.
do whatever the hell you want, make no plans, just literally live day by day.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, we just gotta go to work.
Yeah.
We just gotta go to work, and like,
Yeah.
we gotta eat, and we gotta, there's stuff that has to be done. Um, but damn, was there a point that I was making about time? I can't even remember.
I was saying that we don't talk about time enough, and then we're talking about intention and taking your time
Yeah,
and
taking your time. Exactly.
giving yourself time to take your time.
Yeah, giving yourself time to do nothing. That's
Mm.
definitely something that it's funny that you have to make time
To
to do nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
forget about time. You've got to make time to forget about time.
Oh, this society, mate.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
Right, right.
Fucking.
But productivity is so like it's such like hot shit right now. Oh,
Mm,
you gotta wake up, you gotta do your like fucking face massages and your gua sha and like
yeah.
fucking looks max, and then you gotta like have black coffee and like green tea in the morning because it's got Ozempic in it, and and then you wanna lose fat, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And then you gotta
Yeah.
yeah, then
There's so much. There's so much shit. There's so much bullshit. I feel like a lot of the things that people say, oh, this will make you like more disciplined or like it,
better.
yeah, better. that's the shit that
wellness thing.
takes up so much of your time and realistically isn't actually that great for you.
Right.
Like it's so individual, like what is actually good for you. And
Right.
that's what I started to realize. Like like I built my own routine because I was like I don't work on anybody else's routine. Like don't get me wrong, I've definitely watched all the routine videos of how Einstein like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Einstein's routine or
Waking
like
up at 5
Picasso's
a.m. and
routine.
like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No. Like I'm like I take I think I like watching that for like purely research and like just seeing what can be done and
mm,
like what's been done and like it's inspiration almost, but like I don't take everything on board. Like you have to build it yourself. Um, I feel like we get too lost in trying to be like that perfect, that perfect individual that does everything that needs to be done, but we don't actually take time to actually create that for ourselves for our perfect person.
yeah, it's like that's
Like
not freedom.
no, no,
That's
it's
not
not.
freedom
It's
to
just a
me.
different cage. Yeah,
Just a
just a
different
different
cage.
cage. Pig. So pig.
When two
Uh,
niggas come together and who enjoy
yeah,
philosophy,
yeah,
Jesus
no,
Christ.
it's not fun for you guys.
I'm so sorry.
Unless it is.
These guys
And
are
they
having an
can't.
existential crisis
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. They're like, oh, well, so what are we meant to do
Yeah.
then? Wait, what the fuck? But
Yeah,
yeah, no.
burn your clocks. Burn it all.
Yes, I agree. Second that statement. Burn your clocks. Who needs them?
Mm,
Um, no, actually, don't actually burn your clocks. Don't actually burn your clocks. You need
should
them
you?
for work. You need them for work. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But okay.
They're a tool for like capitalism though, right?
Hmm?
Clocks, surely.
Hmm? What clocks means for
Actually,
capitalism?
no, that's stupid because they used to have like sun clocks, didn't they, back in the day, and that wasn't like about they weren't making sundials to fucking
Yeah, but I'm like,
make sure they were getting to their office jobs on time in the like like 1000 BC. I don't know.
nah, definitely not. Definitely not. Oh, I wrote. No, I didn't write. Sorry, I saw this TikTok the other day. Was it TikTok? It was a reel, and it was saying that like, so in its medieval times, peasants only worked like 140 days out of the year. You know,
And that's considered peasantry back then.
exactly.
Look at us now.
Right? What are we doing?
Look at us
What
now.
are we doing? What are we doing? We literally spend like what, like at least 90% of our time just like slaving away, and
Yeah,
like, and
and
we
then
don't realize.
and then our free time is filled with scrolling.
Exactly, program.
So is it
Is,
free time? You
is it
know?
is it is it really free? Are we really free? I'm like, this is too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is too much. I love
Damn.
this shit though. I actually love this shit. I love this shit.
We
Uh,
could do this all night, man.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good. Um,
Anyway,
but
anyway.
to get back on track, to get back on track, and to get back to like your experience instead of the collective experience. Um, so I feel like we've done past, we've done present, and where you are now.
Mm.
Where do you see yourself in the future? What do you think the future has in hold for you? Like, what's fee looking like? Like,
What's Fee looking like in the future?
or even what kind of projects do you want to work on in the future? What,
Wow. I love documentary projects. I do. Documentary photography projects are just like my bread and butter. Like,
mm.
uh, there's a few, I mean, it's gonna sound like trying to recommend Adidas to someone who's interested in like fashion and sports, but there's a couple of photographers, not even a couple, there's, you know, but the photographers that are really successful in their documentary photography are the photographers who are just doing it all the time.
Yeah,
And a lot, the ones that I really look up to shoot film, I know right now what's more important is that I just like start making the work. It doesn't have to be filmed straight away because
yeah,
you know, it's
yeah, yeah,
expensive and
yeah.
it's long. And
Yeah.
tiresome and grueling, but
We move.
but we
We move.
move, and you know, in the future, I'd like to. Well, not even I'd like to. I will be reintegrated into film processes and
Yeah.
darkroom, which I miss so much. Um, and shooting a lot more. I would love to. I mean, more initially, or realistically speaking, I know that I'll be working, for someone or with someone
Yeah.
in the photography world. Um, I mean, it would be really cool to maybe work a little bit in the fashion world as well. But I'm trying
Yeah.
to stay just a
Yeah.
little bit
Just,
open,
just, just. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
like, I really do see that for you though.
you
I'm like,
do,
I do. I do. I feel like you might just need to like find the right brand that's just willing to take that. Like, even if it's a case of like you literally just document them and like their process throughout a year,
yeah.
and like you just show up at like random times and you do your thing. Like, I reckon you bang that shit. That'd be so sick. And like,
Thanks.
like I think what it is as well is like you have so much potential as to where you could go that it's almost daunting which direction you should go in. So I like for the future, just take some chances, innit?
Yeah.
Take some chances. See what happens. I believe in you, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Believe in you, bro.
Leaving you do, man.
Come on. Ugh.
But yeah, you know, I in the future, I definitely see myself being in a slightly more bustling town than Bournemouth.
Oh yeah, yeah, no.
I really hope that I want to put like an actual cap on it with time
Yeah,
of being. Yeah, I think
yeah.
in 2 years' time, if I'm not out of Bournemouth, I should be. There's a red flag. There should be.
There's no,
Yeah, a large
no.
red
What is
flag.
going on?
You
What
know.
is going
I think my friend, I was talking to my friend Gabe earlier today, and she said, "Yeah, Bournemouth is a town where people's dreams go to die." And
on? I wish I could say otherwise,
yeah, it's
but
like we're all kind of trying to do something, but I just think that hmm, there's not the space for it. There's not quite been the space carved out for young artists here. There's not really jobs. There's not really
yeah,
enough
I think
community. There's not like an
this.
older community either that we
Yeah,
can,
yeah, yeah, that we can like kind of like learn from, or like
learn from
feed
and work with.
feed
Yeah.
feed ourselves from. Like I feel like the creative economy in Bournemouth is just dead,
Yes.
and that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why even though we get so many people come through here, so many creatives come through here because of the uni,
Yeah.
we don't get any of
No
them
one
stay
stays.
because there's nothing here.
Mm.
There's nothing here to do. Um,
Yeah, you need to feel inspired by your environment.
yeah,
It's hard to do that here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it really is. Really is. Take it from someone who's lived in Dorset for what?
Dorset, how have you not got the accent actually? That's what I want to know.
I've never had an accent really. It's because I speak two other languages. I think. I genuinely think it's because I speak other languages. I tend to catch the common accent of every language that I learn for some reason. So, like Portuguese, I will sound Portuguese and I will sound like a genuine Portuguese. And people are always surprised and they're like, what the fuck? Have you lived here? Like, but I haven't.
Yeah, you just
But
paid attention to
yeah,
the way that people pronounce things.
yeah, no, I think that was drilled into me since I was a kid. My parents are linguists, so it's also that. I think
Hmm.
I've always paid attention to it, even if it was subconsciously, because I've never wanted to get into languages. Never wanted to.
It's like a nice idea. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
no,
just
it's
like
a
it's
great idea.
a lot of work. I'd love to be able to speak another language fluently. I'm such a Brit.
Yeah, I'm like,
Just English speaking wanker, really.
I'm also like, once you learn English, what else do you need though?
Oh, I hate that so much. It makes my skin
I
crawl.
know, I
You
know,
know.
I know, but it's so true though. Like, it's basically like even the reason why I moved here when I was younger, like my parents were saying, the education system is a little bit better, a little bit more lenient in the sense that allow you to be a little bit more out there. French is very cutthroat. Like if you're not it, get out. And it's also if you learn English, that opens so many doors for you. You can go wherever you want.
Mm.
You've got literally anywhere around the world will speak English because
Most places, yeah,
yeah,
it's
most
true.
places, you know. So as much as I hate to say it, and like English is like a massive reason that like it's okay for me to just speak English. And
Mm.
like that's probably also why I haven't really practiced and I am not fully fluent in the two other languages that I know. Because I know I've got that to fall back on.
Look at us benefiting a little bit from the Commonwealth.
Yeah, come on. Reparations, bitch.
Yeah, innit? I wasn't gonna say
Reparations, bitch.
it.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll take it where I can get it, man. Like, um, but yeah, I'm like with that. I feel like we have covered life of Fee very briefly. I feel like there's so much else that we could flesh out.
Oh
But
God, yeah.
but let's wrap this up with the final question. The question you have for me.
Oh no, do you know what? When you mentioned this and I was boiling the kettle, I was like, oh yeah, 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 and then I got really wrapped up in making the tea that I totally forgot to pre-prepare a question. So this is totally where you cut like 3 minutes in post, which you might not even do. Who
No,
knows? I don't even
no,
know if you
no. I
cut this
don't do
stuff.
any cuts. I don't do any cuts. We'll
Damn,
cut between the like. We
it's
don't
just a
change.
continuous stream.
Continuous stream of consciousness.
Right, I'll
Yeah.
just try and not think about it and let something come out of my mouth. So a question that I've got for you:
Yeah.
where do you see yourself in the future? And you can't say in space.
She knows that I'm gonna go to space at some point, so she's like, no. Um, I don't know. It's a really interesting question because I've been contemplating this question for like the past 2 months, like a month and a half. Honestly, I don't really know exactly where life is gonna lead me. I don't really know exactly where the future lies, but I know I want to like write more poetry. I've been really enjoying doing that, which is really weird for me because I always thought the English language was like my worst subject ever. And then I've started writing recently, well, continuing writing recently because I've been writing for a while. Um, and yeah, I think I want to get my poetry more out there and focus on like we were saying earlier, um, just focusing on myself a little bit more and like replenishing that the creative bucket so I can take out
Yeah,
of it again and
yeah, yeah,
create my
yeah.
shit. Um, so I feel like future for me holds some poetry, maybe a couple of art exhibitions because I need to get back out there.
Oh my God, tell me about it. I don't think I probably went to like less than 5 last year.
Yeah, yeah, like
That's bad.
I think I went to like one.
Oh my God, let's do. We should just together. We should research some and then just go.
Yeah,
It's
100,
easier when it's with someone else, and
100.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, because that needs to happen. That needs to happen.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
More of the inspiration.
mm,
We need it.
yeah, 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 100%. So yeah, guys, get out there, go visit some art galleries. I'm like, if if I get a chance, I'll chuck some down below. We'll see what's going on. Chuck some down below. Um, but yeah, guys, I think that's it. Peace. Yeah, that was an episode with Fee. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next third place episode. Bye.